Anyway, so the next song, Mother I Sober. I kid you not. Like, and then for him to try to let Mother I'm Sober, so it's like she stopped drinking, he stopped doing all the things to distract him from dealing with his pain, and he's actually sitting down and talking about it, and how
Yeah.
she wouldn't believe that he wasn't molested because she suffered molestation. So she just assumed that his cousin, must have molested him when it was for her. It was her cousin that molested her, right? Am I? Yeah, if I'm
I
remember.
think something like that.
Yeah,
We
like
just know she was molested. Yeah.
she was projecting her own pain, and she never actually dealt with it.
Dealt with
And
that. Yeah.
and then yeah, I don't quite remember all his other points, but
Hmm.
this song, like, it hit so hard, like so hard, and you know what I'm saying, and like dealing with childhood, like the end of it. Oh my god, the end of that song, where they got the little kid, and the little kid is saying,
Mm.
thank you, thank you, you did it, you broke the
Yeah.
curse or whatever. Like, I was just like, oh my god.
I
I was
know.
like, oh my god, like,
I felt that. I was like,
I was
wow.
driving. I'm driving. I'm like, I want to cry. Do I need to pull over? Just look, 'cause look, it's raining. It's raining. Like, while I'm doing it,
Oh
I'm like,
no, that's
oh
the
my god,
worst.
this is so sad.
It is. That was a lot. I'm like, okay, let me see. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, talking about yeah, like I like how he was mentioning that he never felt grief for real until he was sober. So it was like finally once he actually was sobered up, he was like, oh shit, this is all my feelings, and he was finally able to deal with that. And I'm like, I'm so proud of Kendrick. I just am. You
Mhm.
know, like we've heard so many songs about him drowning his pain in liquor. You know,
Mhm.
like we was singing it with him. We was doing the same shit,
I'm
and
gonna
like
get
now
this
he's
bar
like,
tune, loud tunes, always get it loud too.
and now we're like, now he's like, okay, don't do that, and we're like, oh, so yeah,
Pour up,
I thought
drink,
that was funny.
sit down. Right.
Oh, I also thought it was interesting how he shed light on his sex addiction and how it affected
Mm.
Whitney and his relationship with Whitney, and how ultimately it caused a lot of problems between them, and like how she was like, "Hey, like you should just get help, like for real." That that was really personal. You could tell that was super personal to open up about
Mhm.
on a record. Like again, I'm just proud of Kendrick for being so vulnerable and for making those changes for himself and his relationships and for like, you know, the future of his children. Like that's important. But yeah, and then he was just talking about 20 years. 20 years finally his trauma was coming back after 20 years and he
Mhm.
finally dealt with it. That's a long ass time. That's a
Yeah,
long ass time.
yeah.
But thankfully it's now and not at all. Like better late than never. So I
Mhm.
felt that. And then one last time he was just talking about how, you know, it's like how he kind of like he released all family, like black families to like stop the generational curse, you know, and just like you were talking about the baby at the end, like think about your kids, think about your, you know, other kids that are growing up
Mhm.
after you. Like this is important. We have to look at ourselves and make changes. So I love that. It needed to be said.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I know it. This was a
Man,
heavy song.
like every time I listen to that record, I'm like, yo, this is tough. Like, to do this on a record, like, about yourself, about your own family, like, that's tough.
Yeah,
That's tough. I don't care what nobody says. Like, that's a hard thing
that's
to
how
do.
I feel.
It's a hard thing to do. Like,
That's why I was like, Byron, didn't
hmm
you feel like this? Like when I got on Twitter and everybody like, of course, the only thing that most people focus on was like, oh, he said the F word on Auntie Diaries. I'm like, you literally missed all this good, super amazing shit because you just wanted to focus on that, and like you completely missed the point. And like he literally said that that's what people do. Like, and that's what I was saying on Twitter. I was like, it's so funny that Kendrick was literally saying that this is what people do, and they literally did the exact thing that he was talking about in his album.
hmm
Like, so crazy.
yeah, yeah, you definitely, man, that's crazy. That's crazy that he did that like that. Like
Yeah.
even with him saying it like that, like because because J. Cole has a line on a song where he does the same thing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I just said that bar to show how homophobic you are, you know? And that's part of his bar that he said.
I
J.
remember
Cole.
that.
But
And he got criticized for the same thing.
yeah, he did, but it was 2015 when he did that, or 2014. So he got no, it was 2013 actually, because
13.
2014 is Forest Hill Drive. So yeah, it was
You
2013.
remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna forget when that album was, because it really came out at the end of the year. He got it in like just barely. Like it was like super late into December. I'm like, Merry Christmas to me. Um, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. There's so much to unpack in Auntie Diaries, and people just got hung up on that. That was just so like people are getting hung up on like the dumbest things, like I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, like it was energetic or enough, or I don't feel like it was this or that, and blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, you turned on Kendrick Lamar, okay? Kendrick Lamar, and
Right.
this is one thing I hate about a lot of listeners to just music in general. People turn on music and expect to get the same thing from every artist. What is wrong with you? These are all completely separate human beings. Like they want all singers to sing about the same stuff. They want all rappers to rap about the same stuff. And then they complain about the rappers that, oh, you're 35. Why are you still giving me club music? You should be saying more mature things. But then you have, on the other hand, you have when the artist is mature, man, there's sure enough club records. What is wrong with you?
Right.
Make it
What do
make
you
sense.
want? What do you want?
Make
Stop.
it make sense. I like being able to turn on Future and go to the club, and turn on Kendrick Lamar when I want to sit there and think about my life. I
Yeah.
like I like having different moods. If I want to go be sad about my ex, I'm gonna turn on some Drake, especially that Take Care, and I'm gonna be on there. I'm just saying you could do better.
But it's the same on my side. If I'm thinking about shaking my ass all day, I'm definitely gonna turn on some Meg The Stallion. If I'm
Oh yeah,
thinking
for sure.
about getting the bag and running it up, I'm gonna probably put on some Lotto. But if I want to think about my relationships or get into my sexy vibe, I might put on some Summer Walker or some LMA. Or if I really just am really feeling it, I might put on some Beyonce. But you can't expect Lotto vibes from freaking, I don't know, from Sabrina Claudio. I'm like, like I can't.
If
You're not gonna get Mariah Carey from. Yeah, I'm just like, what? I
yeah,
hate that. People overanalyze music a lot, and it's like you're not even a music producer. Like you're just a consumer of music. If you're not feeling it, turn on somebody who is gonna cater to your musical needs. Like, but don't criticize people because they're not doing that. Like you're weird. I thought that was weird too.
so my thing is, it's not even that they over analyze, they over criticize. They're too quick to just criticize. They don't even analyze the actual music, because if they were analyzing, then they'd actually shut up and not state that opinion. I think they're not
That's true.
thinking at all, and everybody looks for in their art to just get away from things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is fine to an extent, but sometimes some art is gonna hit home. It really is, and you got to be willing to deal with that. Most people, like you were saying earlier, don't want to deal with their feelings and their emotions.
No, they don't. Some people just want to be numbed by music, I think. And not all music is going to do that, It's supposed to invoke a certain emotion, whether it's turn up or,
Hmm.
hey, let's reflect on trauma, like you're saying. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, like different music serves different purposes. And then you can get the same different things from different art, like from that same artist. Not everybody has that kind of flexibility.
Yeah,
But some artists can do that where they have, okay, these records are sad. These records are pumping up in the club or whatever. Or like let's fuck on this one. Like yeah, like different artists do that.